Hi, I'm Jane Pauley. They were a successful partnership in marriage and business, but at 58, they were looking for one last thing. Meet Gifford and Libba Pinchot.
I thought about my great-grandchildren asking, well, when it became clear that civilization was headed in a destructive direction, did you do anything about it? Or did you just sit there and watch?
You were in your late 50s, and you're thinking, it might not be too late for me to change the world.
Well, what else is there to do, really?
A ferry ride from Seattle. Nestled in the woods is the Bainbridge Graduate Institute, the brainchild of Libba and Gifford Pinchot. It may look like a summer camp, but BGI is fully accredited.
Our graduates work at Microsoft, Boeing, Timberland, T-Mobile.
Ironically, neither Gifford nor Libba has an MBA.
We learn business experientially.
When they were the age of many of their students, they were grad school dropouts, but these were no ordinary hippies.
I was a failure as a hippie.
Why?
I couldn't get the whatever attitude.
Yeah.
I was always a driver. I was always trying to get something done.
I always had to go to work every day. I couldn't stand people who didn't.
Not only did they run a dairy farm, but Gifford had a blacksmithing business.
I claimed that my blacksmithing career was my MBA.
But they emerged from the 70s as corporate consultants, and for 25 years were a successful business partnership.
At that point, I said, okay, Gifford, do you want to retire? And he kept saying, no, I just feel like we need to do one more thing.
There's this sort of, is this all there is to life, which is something that happens to people in their 50s. That was beginning to happen to us.
And then 9/11 happened.
Suddenly, life seemed short. We can't just sit around and think about these things. I had to do something about it. And so we looked and said, what's the highest leverage way in which we can change the world for the better?
For Gifford, whose grandfather was the first chief of the U.S. Forest Service, the answer was a school with a mission.
We can actually generate quite a bit of revenue.
Teaching future business leaders how to keep the planet healthy while turning a profit.
It cuts our waste down to 99% waste diversion.
Business is the dominant institution of our time. If business doesn't do it, it's not going to happen. Business rules government. Business rules the universities. Business actually rules the media. So we might as well change business.
I actually believe that we have to bring new industrial might to the U.S., and it has to be green, innovative things.
Let's figure out what makes people really happy, and that's what we want to work on. That's what a business is, a successful business, if they can make their customers happier and use less stuff doing it. Lower cost, higher customer benefit. That's where business really needs to go.
But starting a business school from scratch is not easy. Where did your seed money come from?
Initial seed money came from us.
They sunk their retirement money into starting the school.
There's a give-back period in life. Now it's time to really ask, what can we do for the world?
Their friends said it was crazy, they'd be ruined.
Our friends literally had interventions to warn us that, we would lose our health, we would lose our retirement, and we would fail.
Why is it in the forest?
We started out in our living room, and the third year we had to go somewhere. There wasn't room anymore, and so we found this place.
An environmental teaching facility from Monday through Thursday noon.
And we wanted it Thursday at 1 o'clock through Sunday noon.
It was a perfect match. BGI students are on campus just 4 days a month. The rest of the time, students and professors work together online. The vision: create a scale model of what a business school should be.
Business schools were training people at that time that it was immoral to do anything for the environment or the community if it took a penny away from shareholders. The challenge that we face in the 21st century is that we have to figure out ways to deal with the people problems we have in our society. We have to figure out ways to deal with the environmental problems we have in society, and we have to figure out how to do that at a profit. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Gifford, what are you looking for in a student at BGI?
Well, we're really asking three questions. One, do you have the math skills to do an MBA? Do you have the English writing skills so that we don't have to teach you how to write? And do you have the kind of passion that's necessary to change the world?
Bainbridge graduates are already finding ways to have an impact. Third-generation dairy farmer Kevin Moss is converting cow manure into electricity to run his farm and heat his greenhouses, which also reduces groundwater contamination and methane pollution.
So he's taken the idea of sustainability and turned it into something that makes a lot of money.
The Bainbridge Graduate Institute may be the model of the school of the future.
Other schools began copying us, and we began getting a flood of deans coming in to study what we were doing.
Which means it's sowing seeds that germinate in business schools all over the country, if not the world, to do education as you do it. As of today, BGI has graduated 440 students. So the last 10 years, best 10 years of your life?
Yeah,
The best.
the best.
We've been known to wake up in the morning and look at each other and giggle. How did we get here? This is pretty cool.
Thank you for everything.
You're now 68. Are you finished?
We've only got one more thing that we can do. Remember, we only have one more thing.
So it seemed at the time. Now I'm pretty convinced that if we stop doing this, we'll find one more thing to do.